if you've made it to this video, it might be because you're going through the same sort of thing as I am right now, or maybe YouTube has just sent you my way randomly. So apologies if that's happened. But if you are here because you're in the same situation as me, then I just hope this brings you a little bit of comfort, and so you know that you're not alone, basically, because I feel pretty ill alone right now in my situation, if I'm honest. So I try and keep this video short. I don't expect to get many views, if any, to be honest. So I'll just get straight to it. So basically, I'm 32. I am unemployed. This hasn't always been the case. I'll take it back a few months and then we'll get to where we are now. So I was working for a dog rescue. I've always wanted to work with animals. I think that's like my calling in life, if you will. That's what people call it, don't they? So yeah, I loved it. I was there for nearly 2 years, but you know, the novelty wears off after a while, and I realised, yeah, maybe I want to work with animals still, but just not in this environment, like not in this sort of sector. Where I worked, it was like in the middle of nowhere. It was about half an hour drive away. It wasn't a bad drive, but where it was located, I had to go up like a really steep like dirt track every day, and I'm convinced that killed off my last car. And yeah, so the novelty wore off, and I thought, no, I need to get out of here. I want to try something new. You know, it was minimum wage job. Yeah, I love the dogs, but I didn't love everything that came with it. You can imagine. So I don't know what possessed me, but I got a job in a dental surgery as a trainee dental nurse. Like, bearing in mind, I have always hated the dentist. I just, no, always hated going as a kid. There was quite a few years, like in my teens into my 20s, where I didn't go, like when I should have. But yeah, I thought, it sounds like a good like career to get into. I thought, let's just try something new. You know, I thought it sounded quite interesting. I was intrigued. So I just bit the bullet and I got this job at a dental surgery, not far from where I was at the dog rescue, actually. So yeah, I started there. I actually went into the job like with an open mind, thinking that it might not be for me, but I'm going to give it a go anyway, because, you know, what's the worst that can happen? Yeah, so that didn't work out. It was a very cliquey environment. The practice manager was just really unprofessional and quite, like, what's the word? She made me feel this big, basically. She knew that I had a bit of a nervous disposition and that I suffered with anxiety. You know, when the first initial time meeting her, when I went for my interview, I thought, oh yeah, she sounds nice. But then I saw a different side to her when I had my like one-to-one meeting, basically like my review after I'd been there for, I think it was coming up to a month. So it hadn't been that long at all. I sat down and she was like, yeah, basically you're not picking things up as quick as we'd like. The head dentist was also in this one-to-one, so I felt a bit, oh, here we go. And they were like, oh, you're not picking things up as quick as we'd like. You know, you haven't even started your course yet. Bearing in mind this course was going to be self-funded because I couldn't afford to do an apprenticeship. You know, I was minimum wage is bad enough. So I was going to have to pay out of my own pocket to like basically start up this career. Luckily I didn't spend a penny. I didn't get to that point. And the practice manager actually said to, like, in these words, she said to me, oh, if it helps, don't be Sophie. Just be someone else. Just pretend to be someone else. And you know when someone says something to you, you can't quite like comprehend it, like it doesn't go in. So I just kind of sat there and thought, just nodded and agreed, sort of thing. And you know, when you walk out of a situation and you think of all the things you could have said. So yeah, I think then I knew, nah, this isn't for me. There was also a couple of things that got out. Like I told the practice manager in confidence, because I had an issue with one of the other girls there, Miss Popular. And I told the manager that I had an issue with her, and I said, I don't want this to get out. I don't want you to speak to her. I'm just making you aware. But of course it got out to her. I could tell her demeanour had changed like a few days after I'd had this like meeting. I could tell she'd been spoken to, and she was like openly, you know, friendly with me, and I thought, oh, yeah, I'm not stupid. But yeah, so I decided, no, this isn't for me. Great. Back to square one, let's look for something else. I was getting to a point where I was going in every day, like feeling ill. I had bad stomach every morning from nerves because I just didn't want to be there. So I think I pulled a sickie. And I knew like this was gonna like, you know, cause a bit of friction, to say. Like, oh, a newbie, she's only been here, what, weeks, and she's already pulling a sickie. It doesn't look good. Yeah, so I pulled a sickie. And I basically got a call, or I think I got a text from the practice manager a few hours after this sick, like I called in sick, saying, oh, we need to talk. I thought, oh, I know what this is. So yeah, she rang me and she was like, oh, so yeah, I'm afraid we're going to have to terminate your contract. And I just thought, yeah, okay, I knew this was coming. I think I even said, well, I was going to hand in my notice anyway. Like, bearing in mind I didn't have another job to go to, but I just knew that I couldn't stay there. So yeah, that was that. So I was jobless there. This was September, I think. So yeah, jobless in September. I wasn't upset about losing this job because I knew it wasn't right for me. Yeah, my confidence had been crushed, as you could imagine. Like, my self-esteem is not great anyway, so just keep that in mind. So yeah, so I'm just applying for like any job just to pay my bills, whether it's part-time or, you know. So I find this temp job. It sounds really cool, right up my street. A design company that do pet portraits. I didn't realise I was actually following them on Instagram. which I use a lot. Yeah, I thought, oh, their work's really cool. It sounds like a nice little company to work for. So to my delight, I got an interview with them, and I met the guy. Went for an interview. Seemed really cool, really nice, down to earth. I mentioned what had happened at my last job and said, yeah, they weren't willing to give me a chance. They expected me to just pick things up like that. And he was like, oh, no, don't worry, we're not like that here. It's more about the person rather than like your experience and stuff. So I thought, yeah, like this sounds brilliant. So I went away thinking, yeah, I think that interview went all right. And then a few hours later, I was at the gym actually. Sorry, my cat's staring at me. I was at the gym and I got a call, and I knew it was the guy who interviewed me. And he was like, oh, hi Sophie, I think your interview went really well today. I'd really like to offer you the job. I think you'd fit in really well with our team, yada, yada, yada. I was like, brilliant. Like, this is just what I need. I felt elated. Yeah. I mean, it was only a temp job up until New Year, but, it would have sorted me out until after Christmas. A dreaded C word. So, yeah, couldn't wait. I think I started like a couple of weeks after that. I'm still living off my wages from the dental nurse job at this point. So yeah, I start the new job at this little creative place. Yeah, everything seems fine. Yeah, I am. I say I'm quite an anxious person. I probably do have a little bit of a anxious disposition. It's actually got worse as I've got older. But I thought, oh, what can go wrong? I'm just going to give it my all, They seem like nice people to work with. We're a really small team. It was just, the main guy, the business owner, he'd taken on another temp girl for Christmas, and they had another full-time member who was actually a temp last year, who he decided to take on permanently. So I thought, okay, there might be a chance that this could turn into something permanent. So yeah, I was feeling really positive. Yeah, the job was like fairly, say, easy if you have a background in like, say, customer service. I mean, I have worked in retail in the past, but it's always been like face to face. A lot of this was like email inquiries and like chasing up orders and stuff like that, which I wasn't really familiar with. And I think like he could tell, the guy could tell that I wasn't as quick as picking that bit up as the other temp girl was. So this is when the doubts started to settle in, and I was like, oh, I'm no good at this. Like, I'm going to mess this up because the girl's better than me. So already I'm putting like the doubts in my head, because I think I pick up on like how other people feel, and like I could just see that he's thinking, oh, she's not picking this up properly or as quick as I'd like. I don't know, maybe I'm paranoid, I don't know, but I pick up on other people's energy. Like, that's just, I'm an empath. That's just something that I do. So yeah, so I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'm not that great at that part of the job, but it doesn't matter because I'm okay at the other part, which is like the packing, the printing and packing, dispatching. Well, I thought it was okay anyway, but turns out that wasn't the case. Like, keep in mind that I'm not a massive, like, what's the word? Like, I don't have an iMac or anything. I don't have like a really nice laptop or computer. I'm not familiar with like certain software or anything, but I think I picked it up like as as quick as anyone else could have. But no. Oh, sorry, I've lost my train of thought now. Keep in mind, this is like the first video I've ever made where I'm like speaking to a camera. I hate the sound of my own voice. I hate looking at myself like in a video. But I just thought, oh, just do it. Just give it a go anyway. So here we are. Anyway, back to the story. So yeah. I was enjoying like the printing and the packing part of this job. Yeah, okay, I had to be shown a few times like how to do certain things, because there was like a certain process, and I'm someone where when I go into a job, I will keep asking, oh, have I done this right? Can you just check this for me just to make sure I've done it right? Because that's how I learn. Like, I don't learn by writing things down like in a notepad. I have to just keep doing something until I get it right. So yeah, I think the one, like, a red flag popped up for me when I could tell the boss was like stressed with something, not me. He was stressing over something because the printers weren't working as they should or something. And then he asked me to send a print to one of the printers, and I accidentally sent it to the wrong one. And his reaction was like, it was just a bit OTT. And I thought, okay, it's not the end of the world. I'm sorry, I'm still learning. Like, he wanted me to send like an A3 print to the A2 printer or something, but it didn't click with me. Like, oh, you've got to send it to the other printer. I'm still getting used to like the software. And so I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's just having a bad day, just don't dwell on it. So yeah, I think the day after that, yeah, so the last day I worked there, he wasn't actually in. It was just me and hello kitty. This is my kitty Casper. He likes to be the centre of attention. He likes to interrupt. Yeah. The last day I worked there, sorry, Casper's just made me lose where I was. Yeah, the last day I worked there, I was only working 3 days a week, but keep in mind, it was just me and not the temp girl. It was just me and the full-time girl, who I got on with. Yeah, no problem. I will get on with anyone if I can. And she said, oh, if it's all right with you, I'll leave you to just get on with the printing and the packing today, while she finished up with the the customer inquiries and all the stuff that I wasn't a fan of doing. So I thought, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I thought everything went smoothly that day. Yeah, I still, I had to ask a couple of questions like, oh, Millie, have I done this right? Can you just check that for me? And I thought, I left there thinking, yeah, I think I did all right today. I did everything that I was supposed to. We finished early. So yeah. And the next day, I was having quite a good day. just been for a nice walk into town and back. The sun was out. I was sat down. I think I just finished my lunch. And I got a text. Text popped up. And sorry, I'm laughing at my cat. Text popped up on my phone. And I could see that it was my boss. And the top line just said, "Hi, Sophie." And then underneath, it just said something like, "Firstly, thank you for all the hard work you've done for me the past couple of weeks. It's been a pleasure getting to know you." And I didn't open the text at this point. I just saw like when it pops up. And I just knew like this wasn't gonna be a good text. And my heart just sank. And I was like, oh, what is it? So I opened the text. And he was basically, like, he wrote me like a huge paragraph, basically saying, you know, "It's been a pleasure getting to know you, yada, yada, yada. You're a great person. I know you've enjoyed working for me the last couple of weeks, but I just hoped things had gone a bit more smoothly with the packing and dispatching." And I'm thinking, I thought I did fine on my own yesterday, you know. So I was like, not again. Yeah, he wrote me like this huge paragraph saying, "Oh, you know, if we had more time, maybe things would be different." And I'm just like, yeah. So here we are, unemployed at 32. I was really upset about that. I wasn't upset about the job at the dentist because I knew it wasn't for me, but this, I thought, oh, it could actually lead somewhere. But no. So yeah, here we are. I'm 32, I have no job, I have no income. It's the wrong time of year to be out of work. Just to clarify, like, me and my partner, we don't have kids, we own a home. There's no like extra income apart from us working, which is now just him working. And it's not like he earns mega bucks to like support us both. And you know, I still want to earn my own money, pay my own bills, because that's how it is. So yeah, to say that I've been a bit down in the dumps lately is an understatement. I do suffer from depression and anxiety anyway, but this is like the catalyst that I didn't need. So yeah. And I also don't have like a huge amount of savings that I can live off. I have a small amount that's meant to be for our wedding next year, but that is it. There's no nest egg or anything. I might have to apply for job seekers again, which I did before, which is always fun. I don't like relying on handouts, but I can't pay my bills with fresh air. I'm due a payment I'm due my wages from this job next week, hopefully, but it won't be a lot. So when that's gone, I don't know. But yeah, I've rambled on far too much. So yeah, if you can relate to this video, or you just found it comforting somehow to know that you're not alone, then that'll be great. Yeah, I'm not used to doing things like this. Like, this is really out of my comfort zone, just putting it out there. But yeah, if you have made your way to this video, leave me a comment and just let me know. And yeah, if I get many views, I might do another one, might do an update. So just yeah, might see you on the other side. Bye.